Well, hey there everyone. Haven't done a video in a while. I apologize for that, but some things have gotten in the way. I'm not sure I mentioned this or not in my channel, but my father passed away this summer, and well, what's here is a true family heirloom. I've done several videos featuring the Hallicrafters SX-42 that my dad gave me when I was 15, and he bought it when he was 15. I've been going through the documentation. This is the original owner's manual, and with it we've got an original service bulletin, and the documentation is quite technical and quite detailed. I had the receiver professionally restored about 4 years ago. You'll see here is a chart with the full complement of vacuum tubes, and the first two tubes here that are mentioned are a 6A G5, which is the first and second RF amplifier. And here you'll see some of my father's notes. He had a very distinctive penmanship. This is referring to part numbers for a capacitor and for a coil, which I don't know, maybe he ordered and replaced or did something with it. But you've got all the Hallicrafters original part numbers, alignment information, adjustments. Here we have a fold-out schematic. The SX-42 was, well, for its day, it was a top-of-the-line shortwave receiver. Up top here, you'll see my dad's notes. Replaced 6A G5s with 6B C5s. Now, being somewhat of a curious person, which I am, I did some research online, and it turns out that the 6B C5 was a higher gain replacement for the 6A G5s. And I did some postings in a few forums, and sure enough, it was confirmed for me that those tubes were newer versions with higher gain. So it's quite possible that my dad, as a teenager, replaced those tubes hoping to get more gain from the first and second RF amplifiers. So I've got these notes. Unfortunately, my father's not around to confirm that for me. He'd be able to if he was still around. He had unbelievable recollect when it came to technical matters like this. But I'll show you what I did. And I got a pair of 6B C5s, Sylvanias. They have them right there. The other night I cleaned the pins on them, Used an emery board and some deoxit to clean the pins. We're gonna do what my dad did 70 some odd years ago, and we're gonna replace those tubes and see what happens. But first I'm gonna test the existing tubes. We're gonna replace them with these 6B C5s and see if we notice a difference. So come along. Okay, so we've let this warm up for a little bit. My understanding is that the RF amplifier works from the third band up. So we've got it on the third band. Well, bring it up. We're at about close to 12 megahertz. Probably not a bad area to do our test. Some strong signals and some weak signals. It's late afternoon, about close to 3 o'clock. Perfect. I think next we're going to open it up and take out the first and second RF tubes and plug these new tubes in and see what happens. Let's power it down. Voltage in these old radios is very dangerous, so highly recommend turning everything off and unplugging everything. So let's get those tubes out. Alright, I'm going to try to do this one-handed, and the best understanding that I have is that those tubes are going to be right down here. I guess for lack of a better term, you'd call this the RF deck. And let's open it up. Our tuning caps and band spread are underneath this shield. So we're gonna pull these 4 screws out. This should give us access to the tubes that we want. Let's hope I don't drop one of these down into the radio. This is really hard to do one-handed, I'll tell you. Okay, we get them out. Let's pull this shield out. See what we got. Well, all right. These are the tubes we want. They're in these little shields. There they are. I'm going to do this off camera, but we'll pop in those new tubes and see what happens. Well, we've got it back up and running on these replacement tubes. Nothing blew up. Radio from the frequency of 136
70.
Seems to be working.
00 UTC. You can also reach us at the frequency of 11825 at 400 UTC. Visit us at www.africanhardware.org.
Now, does it have more gain than before? I really can't say. Seems to be quite sensitive.
You're listening to This Day in History, the 14th of December. I'm John Eric. Born in 1503 on this day, French physician Michel de Nostradame. You may know him better as Nostradamus.
Let's try the FM band just for kicks.
Also said he could not guarantee people's safety, calling Eisen's remarks as a public official unacceptable. The House Speaker and Speaker-elect, both Republicans, removed
It's working quite well. So we put in these new tubes, pair of 6B C5s in the first and second RF amplifier, and they are working. So I'm going to continue to experiment with this, but here's my little test with my dad's notes from over 70 years ago. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care for now.